Today, I'm going to be taking a look at dead Roblox games with 0 active players. Now, I'm sure some of you little critters in the audience are thinking,
"But Terror YT, why are you doing this? Don't you hate Roblox and everything it represents?"
See, empty Roblox games are interesting because to not be played, they have to fundamentally go against everything that Roblox represents. If you go to the front page of the website, you'll be confronted by these games that use bright, saturated thumbnails in a desperate bid to cling on to any sort of relevance. And a lot of the time, it works. But despite having a staggering 70 million daily active players, they're spread out among so many different games that it leaves holes. These little pockets of games that no one plays. So today, let's take a look at the soft white underbelly of Roblox, to see if these games deserve to be left alone in obscurity, or if we might just find an underrated treasure. The first game I'll be looking at is Dino Racer. This game technically isn't abandoned, but it's pretty much dead by all metrics. It was started quite recently on April 6th of this year and has already been played by over 22,000 people. It's probably deserving of its fate though, as the entire game is clearly trying to be another game, called Dino Race, so first introductions aren't great. Right off the bat, you get an achievement. So now everyone on my friends list knows that I'm playing this game. Well, this looks a little different. This must be the dinos in Dino Racer. As you can see, we start in a saturated room waiting for a race to start. Oh boy, I can't wait to start the race. That doesn't seem fair. Before starting the race, you can click to build up speed. And in the race, you pass as many numbers as possible. And every time you do that, you get 10 crowns. The UI is kind of a mess, with buttons all over the screen encouraging free gifts and gambling. There's also an auto run button, which is weird because the entire point of this game is running. You can also buy an auto clicker to automate the one other mechanic in this game. I'm really not sure what the crowns do. The shop uses Robux because, of course it does. But regardless, I actually managed to get a pet through the gift feature, which gives you rewards the longer you play the game. Like Boku? Oh god, another one? You might notice that there are other players running around, which is a little strange considering the player count is 0. Well, that's because Dino Racer isn't actually real. It's nothing more than a redirect to take you to Dino Race, the actual game. This is, apparently, something that's actually quite common in the Roblox underworld. People would make these new empty accounts and redirect to their other accounts' games. Just for fun, I decided to hook up an auto clicker, and unsurprisingly, I finally managed to win the race. Oh boy. I mean, it's not like the game respects its players anyways. The whole thing just feels like a scheme to make as much money as possible with as little effort as possible. After faking my victory, I rebirthed, which is a mechanic used to trick players into replaying the game. Then I just cheated again. Overall, this game is slop garbage, and the only reason it's even in this video is because it lied to me. Also, could we please just kill this little thing? The next game is Roblox Battle Royale. The icon for this one looks a little silly. And there are no pictures on the game's page, so I have some pretty high hopes. I'm certainly alone, except for that guy, but I killed him. In this game, you have 5 items: a gun, a phone, a sword, a riot shield, and a bat. That's not how you're supposed to hold a baseball bat. Since no one was on, it would be pretty boring if I just walked around alone. So I called my brother and got him to join. Truly, some of the most high-octane gameplay ever. Eventually, we realized that we couldn't kill each other, so we started trying to escape the map. And a couple janky things happened, but there really isn't anything here. Overall, while simple, the premise here is alright. But it probably would have been better if it, you know, had health bars, and if you could use the items properly. Here's one called Robloxian Life. Well, I do consider myself to be an outsider when it comes to Roblox. I've only ever done a handful of videos on the game. Let's see what the typical Robloxian experience is like. Fuck. Alright, that's it. Time for Hello Roblox Neighbor. It's taking a little while to load. You know what? Let's just try a different game. Hello Neighbor Roblox. Loading in, we are in the world of Hello Neighbor in Roblox. We have a wrench, or do we? It's invisible. Looking around, we can walk through doors, but not all doors. In the garage, I found a crowbar and a bear trap. I wonder what happens if After making myself a bowl of cereal with some kiln, I make my way to the other house. I found an empty room where I stared into the corner like a crazy person. I made my way into a bedroom, and it seems like whoever lives here is a big fan of FGTV. In one house, I found a door with a red lock. Sadly, I wasn't able to find a key, but I was able to find a bowling ball that I had some fun kicking around, and some TVs I could turn on and off. That was until I went around the house and found a ladder that went up to the second floor, where I finally found a key. The key didn't work, but I also found another wrench that, when you press it, teleports you into the air. Overall, there's something uncanny about an empty suburb. Clearly, there are signs of civilization, like the houses and deadly bear traps, but with no one there, the illusion of this being a greater world is completely broken. It's not really Hello Neighbor when there is no neighbor. The best comparison I can make is actually with Nuketown from the Black Ops games. The cold, inanimate mannequins just living their daily lives. It was funny to break the boundaries of the game, but above all else, I just feel alone. Next, we have the best Roblox game ever by Minecraft Pro, that traitor! Judging by the lack of fake saturated images, you can already tell that this one wasn't made by a team of talented developers, just an average Minecraft fan turned Roblox user who felt like making something. This also reflects in the player count, with only 435 total visits. Well, make that 436, cause I'm going in. So after waking up from my bed and taking a nice seat, I see that, right off the bat, you get a pickaxe and a magic carpet, which you can fly on, and you can also pick up a lantern from your starting chest. Outside, there's a welcome sign that reads, "Hello! Welcome to my Roblox place. I am a Minecraft fan, and I play Minecraft a lot." Okay, that doesn't seem too weird. Outside my house is a terrifying Minecraft Steve. Let's see what he has to say. Okay, I am not taking that disrespect. After murdering Steve, let's take a look around. This world seems to be an edited version of the default Roblox place. And oh my god, another person has joined the game. This is not a drill, this is an unexpected turn of events. I swear to god I didn't make this up for the video. Some random guy joined this game with only 400 total plays, and it was kind of terrifying. I remained cautious, as the last thing I would want to do is disturb the wildlife. However, I followed from a safe distance. He interacted with Steve in a very similar way I did. Oh god. He's noticed me. Moving on, I found an ancient demon sword that pulled me in and murdered me. Making my way to the Minecraft world, I once again encountered the creature, and it appeared to be attempting to break a spawner. It was very strange. There was a dead zombie in the area. Clearly, this was a very dangerous man. Eventually, I felt a little more brave, and I attempted to communicate to the creature in Morse code. But sadly, I don't know Morse code, so I don't know what I said. He ran behind the mountain and was never seen again. Overall, this game was epic! There are hidden secrets around the map, but if you encounter the wildlife, be sure not to follow too closely, as you never know what they're truly capable of. Also, I murdered him. This one's called Brawl Smash. Besides the liar, this one is by far the most popular game in this video, with 2 people currently playing it. Sadly, by the time I got in, no one was left. You also need at least 2 people to play, so I had to call in a very special guest.
Is he watching us? Let's go see what's over here.
Then the game just didn't work.
Is there like a cursed dark creature in the corner of the screen?
It said that a game was being played with no players. This is what happens when your game is abandoned. The servers just don't work. So instead, we hopped onto Fight for Toilet, clearly the superior game. In Fight for Toilet, you battle against each other. For toilet. Toilet time! It's toilet time! You're going
Fight for toilet! You can't hit me. Wait, no, yes you can.
Quickest hand in the West. Eventually, we decided that peace was a better option, and we worked together to escape the prison.
Oh! Oh! We did it!
freeing ourselves from the porcelain binds we were trapped in. Then we killed each other again. The next one I'll take a look at is Robloxxy. This one is clearly trying its hardest to be its own version of Piggy, but with no players and less than 100 visits, let's see if it's deserving of even a little of its success. Loading in, you can immediately see that this was built directly off of Piggy. Everything from the menus to the character designs. The first thing I do is check the shop, where there are two skins, Roblox and Builderman. They, look a little different. Builderman costs 50 Piggy tokens. As for the traps, they're exactly the same as in Piggy. Then, lastly, there's a YouTuber tab that has a little rodent. As we all know, YouTubers are little parasites on society, so it checks out. Pressing play, oh that's cool, there's a little guy there. Let's go into Chapter 1, House. Obviously, I have to go on bot mode, as the other options require actual people to be on the servers. Then we get to hear the deep storyline.
Okay,
Man, it's been a month since Roblox has been at headquarters. What do these words mean? I better go and check on him. Wait, is Roblox a person? You wake up in a room that looks suspiciously similar to the one from Piggy. By that, I mean it's pretty much the exact same house, but with a slightly different layout. There's a letter on the floor. Despite being made from the same foundation, you can notice that some things are definitely less polished. Sometimes, you would open certain doors and vaults only for nothing to be inside. Sometimes, the same items would spawn in more than one place. The bot can also get stuck on furniture and generally isn't very smart. There's actually a pretty cool original mechanic in this level, in the form of the TV. If you knock it over, then another infected appears, and you have to evade two at once. Sadly, with a 2v1 I couldn't win. Clearly, this game wasn't designed to be played completely alone. Even Piggy was designed around being played with multiple people. I'm going in for a second time, and now there are two of me. With two people, we were eventually able to overcome the challenge of Robloxy. After escaping, there's a little cutscene where a creature escapes a cage in the basement. This clearly plants a seed for a future story. Let's see where it goes in Chapter 2, Station. Oh, that's just the house again. That's a little underwhelming. Now, I've played a fair few Piggy ripoffs in my lifetime, like Dog and Piggy Hunt, but that one's a ripoff in a different way. This one almost seems like a remix of Piggy, with its own original-ish characters and story. Next is Roblox Deathrun. I spawn in on a mysterious vacation land, where fun times are ready to be had. A scary voice welcomes me to the world.
Welcome to Roblox Deathrun!
Guys, I am so ready to compete in the Roblox Deathrun. In this land, there are homeless people, shopkeepers, and a mysterious but very charming DJ. I saw some leaderboards with no names, which means that I can be the Roblox Deathrun champion. Judging by the player list in the corner of the screen, it seems like there would be killers and runners, and the runners would have to avoid dying. However, because no one is actually on, it doesn't seem like the game can actually be played. It's forever stuck in a stasis chamber, waiting to start. But through the power of video editing, I am able to recreate what this game could have played like. Oh no! The bad guys are after me! I gotta run away! Haha, you're never gonna get me, Jeff the Killer. He'll never find me down here. But even if the actual game can't be played, thank goodness we have a shop. I just needed to spend my money. Here we have one just called Read Description. Let's see what our man has to say. Oh, well at very least we could check out this game, which is a GTA San Andreas roleplay. So after jumping on the rooftops like some sort of XX parkour god, I went to a shop run by a Mr. Tavion Deshawn. I bought a green bandana because it matches my outfit. And now I'm trapped, and I can't leave. He must be my off. Every once in a while, you can go to a location that says click to enter turf. And it took me a second to realize that you can't have any weapons equipped. So I, just kind of punched doors for a little bit. I found an ATM and a prompt came up to rob it. So I did and got $67. After that, I went to Walmart thinking they'd have more money, but instead, this has to be the saddest Walmart I've ever seen. There's just nothing on any of the shelves. But there is one employee who stands there and does nothing, and another man who represents the black market. Please sell me some organs. He's just standing there. Do something about him! The next day, I went to a gun shop to buy a gun, and the guy just scammed me. He took my money and didn't give me anything. So obviously, I took out my fists and taught him a lesson. His neck is most certainly broken. I later entered my turf, where the game wouldn't let me take an AK-47 either, so clearly it just knows that I'm a dangerous man. You know, considering this is a GTA roleplay, I would have expected there to be actual cars. And there are, for only $500 and some sort of pass. But it's not working. As a roleplay game, it's only as fun as you make it. But at very least, it was fun for me to make fun of, so that's something. Next is a real classic called Escape Among Us Parkour Obby. So this game had the biggest fall off in this entire video, with 1.1 million total visits. The reason this one didn't have any longevity is for two reasons. One, it was made in late 2020, when Among Us was popular, and now that Among Us isn't, neither is this game. And two, the game itself is just a generic obby. And these types of games are so similar that it doesn't really matter if you've played it or not, because if you've played one of them, you've played them all. In this game, you play as a little Roblox crewmate, or imposter, it can be either one, and you have to make your way through 100 levels. You can really tell that the main reason this game was made was, obviously, strictly for money. Every time you fall, the game gives you an annoying pop-up telling you to pay money to skip it. And even then, the levels themselves are painfully simple. This game was clearly targeted at very young children. Why would you want to skip to the finish anyways? Wouldn't that just defeat the entire purpose of the game? Playing this game has a very similar experience to watching YouTube shorts for more than 5 minutes at a time. The slop goes directly into your brain, and is depressing as soon as you realize what you're wasting your time on. Eventually, I ran out of time, and I think that makes you fall through the platforms. Either that or this game is just broken. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. At this point, I started to get pretty bored of regular Roblox games. I wanted something scarier, something horror, so I did some searching and found the perfect game to play. FNAF Horror Walmart, because nothing in this world is scarier than capitalism. But it didn't work. But it's okay, because I found another horror game called GRIMACE Horror Maze. It seems like it was sorta just made and plopped onto Roblox one day and was immediately abandoned. Oh, and if you're wondering about horror game, it was, certainly something. So loading in, there's no menu, no introduction, we're just plopped straight into the GRIMACE maze. The ground is glitchy and moves whenever you move. Clearly, this is symbolic of the shifting state of the economy, which McDonald's needs to thrive. To my left is the leaderboard. It has a list of people who spent the most time playing this game. My goal to beat? 14 minutes. I begin to make my way into the maze, knowing that the evil monster Grimace could be anywhere. And there he is! There really isn't any formula, any method to the madness. You just sort of run around the maze until Grimace shows up, at which point you're pretty much screwed because what are you gonna do? Run away? The maze is so tight that he's always predisposed to catching you. I didn't even see him that time, he just got me through a wall. Twice. Clearly, this is the horror experience I've come to expect from GRIMACE Horror Maze. Eventually, I got bored and quit. And no, I never did beat those 14 minutes. While I'm underwhelmed with the minimal amount of content in this game, especially for a grand conclusion, the final game of the video, I also have to admit that it's kind of perfect. It's reflective of the underwhelming feeling the developers had to go through when their games didn't do well, only for a couple hundred people to ever choose to play them. GRIMACE is Roblox, and the developers are getting jump scared through walls. There's somewhat of a rustic charm that a lot of these games carry. Rather than playing these polished experiences designed to be consumed, it's sometimes nice to just see people making stuff. The whole vibe in these games reminds me a lot of Scratch, in the sense that developers are just having fun, and not being bogged down with a monetary incentive. It's kind of nice.